Okay, so February was one of the biggest months of collecting that I've had in a long time, in terms of figures anyway. Not as much as in manga and Blu-rays because I just wasn't able to really get any this month, or last month. But in terms of figures, it was a really, really big month. So we're going to go over everything that I picked up in February in today's video, kind of give my thoughts on it if I didn't get my thoughts on it. Some of the bigger ones I'm just going to go over very briefly because I already reviewed them in a full-length video, but the things that I only did a short on, I give my kind of thoughts on. And then a few extra things that I got in February, but the short of them won't go up for a few more days, so you'll get to see them early. So anyway, let's go. So starting with one of the earliest things that I got, and that is the Yamada from The Dangers of My Heart. I got not only the pop-up parade, but also the little Nendoroid. I really like both of these. I think they turned out really well. I really like the Nendoroid because of the face that they gave her. I think that turned out really well. This is cute as well. I like the ice cream and everything. Her having snacks is perfect. So both of these, I'm giving an A to. I'll rank them that way. We're going to go through A through like grading system. That works out well. So both of these get an A. Another one that I got early in the month was this Suzume from Suzume, and I really like this one because of the little chair. It turned out really well. This is the pop-up parade for that, and I think they really nailed this one. I think this one turned out really well. I'm going to give it an A as well because it's kind of a basic outfit, or not an outfit, basic look, but I'm happy with it, and I think it fits her well. It's supposed to be off the poster, so I'll give it that. It works well. A for that one. Another one I got earlier in the month was this Call of the Night Nendoroid. I've yet to watch the series. I pre-ordered this with the intention of watching the series pretty quickly after I pre-ordered it. Never got around to it. Forgot I pre-ordered it. And now it's here. I am happy with it. I think it turned out pretty well. I didn't really like the face, the opposite, like the alternate faces, but maybe that opinion will change as I watch the show. So I'm going to give it a B for now, but a solid little Nendoroid that I need to watch the show of. In January, I got 2 of the Link Like Love Live figures, and in February, I got 2 more. I don't know any of their names good enough to tell you for sure, but I really like these 2. These 2 turned out really well. I like this whole line. This line kind of surprised me on how well it turned out, and I'm very happy with these. I'm going to give them an A as well. I think these turned out really well, so A for them. Let's swap over to some acrylic stands for a second, and we got these 2 Sasha little acrylic stands. I really like them. I had to order these from Japan, but they turned out really nice in my opinion. I have they're actually the only way you can see them because I meant to make a full-length video on this and some Blu-rays. I lost the audio on it, so it is a short. You have to dig to find it, but I'll try to pop it up here, but if not, you can go find these. I am really happy with how they turned out. She won't put a lot of glare on you there, but I think they turned out really nice, and I like these. And they don't make any Sasha merch. This is a manga that has not been translated over to English yet, and I enjoy it. So, yeah. B, because it's an acrylic stand. But I like them a lot. Here's one from Bocchi the Rock. It is Nijika. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I think it turned out pretty well. It fits her character. It looks nice. I like the hair on it. I think that turned out really nice. I'm not huge on these little sitting down figures. I'll get into one of them here in a minute. But I think it's okay. And I'm going to give it a B. Solid. I do think the arms are a little bit too skinny for my liking. I'm going to be very gentle with it, but I don't think it would hold up very well if you had a very playful household. So anyway, B for this one. Let's do some plushies. So I love these little guys. I talked about them in my plushie, all my plushies in my collection, and I really like these. These are the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You series. These are the first 3 girlfriends from that. I'm hoping they make more. I've heard they're making the next 3 at least. I've not seen them up for pre-order yet, but if they do, I'll be getting them because these turned out great. And I really like, they got little floppy legs, and one thing that I noticed, she's even got the little heart on her socks, and I really like that. It's a little attention to detail in a little bitty plushie, and that's cool. I like these a lot. S for these, because I don't know how you could have done them any better. Perfect. Next up, the only Funko Pop I got for February, and that is the Spider Demon Mother. It's fine. She's sitting on a little rock here or whatever, and I think that turned out decently. I didn't get the glow one. I never have the lights off in here long enough to see glow. I never get the appeal of glow. That's why I didn't go out of my way to get like the Warhammer Titan that glowed or whatever. Glow in the dark is not a appeal to me. I'm not gonna pay $45 or whatever for something like that. Does it work for something like this? Yeah, but am I really like desiring it? No. And I think this one works just fine. I'm gonna give it a B. It works. It's not a figure that, or it's not a character that I was desiring more than others that they could have made, but it's solid, and I'm happy they made it. All right, before I get into the figures that I have not made shorts of yet, let's talk about everything that I did make videos of, and the first one of them is Sachi, the freeing figure. Really liked this one. I made a video about it. You can go check that out if you're really wanting to. I think it turned out really well. I'm gonna give all the bunny girls probably A. Maybe not all of them, but I'll get to that here in a second. But Sachi definitely is an A. As I said in the video, I think she turned out a lot better in person than she did in the promotional pictures. So definitely happy to have Sachi. Happy to have both the couple of cuckoos. So A for Sachi. Speaking of a couple of cuckoos, I also had Erica from a couple of cuckoos, the freeing figure. It turned out well as well, and I really like it. I think it turned out really nice. The base is huge on this one. But so it is, so it also is on the Sachi one. So I'm not going to discredit it too much for that. But yeah, out of the bunny girls that I got this month, these two are probably top 3. Top 4. Top 4. These two probably come in 3rd and 4th. So solid. Not my favorite though, but solid. Let's talk about one you guys really liked whenever I made a video of it, and that is the Uzuki from Uzuki-chan. I think it's fine. It is very well endowed, and you guys obviously like that a lot. I don't know if you like that or the fact that her heel was broken, and I got to put my figure arrived broken. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. It's in a secure spot, and I'm not gonna put it somewhere and accidentally break it and not know where the piece went. So I'm storing the piece, and if I ever need to sell it for whatever reason, I will have that piece handy. But for now, since it's just on the heel and I'm always gonna have her facing this way, I'm not gonna fix it for now. I'm happy with it. I think it turned out well. It's probably my 4th, well, yeah, probably 4th. I want to move Sachi and Erica. Sachi would be my 2nd favorite. Then Erica would be my 3rd favorite. This one would be my 4th favorite. So yeah, solid. Not disappointed. I'm going to give it an A. Before we get on to my favorite and least favorite of the bunnies that I got this month, let's talk about my 5th favorite, and that's Manori here. I have no problems with her, but I just like the others better, and I dislike some others worse. It's just, she's kind of this character that I'm not super passionate about, but I do enjoy her little figure here. I think it turned out very well. I like her hair quite a bit. I think that is the best part of her. I think they did an excellent job on the hair coloring. It really fits that character, and the face sculpt looks amazing. That is one of the better ones I've seen, and I really like that the mouth is open. It's not just a generic face look. It really fits her character, and this looks really nice. But once again, not one of my favorite characters, so she's going to be my 5th favorite, but I have no problems with her, so still an A. Solid figure. I'm not disappointed with that. Let's talk about my least favorite bunny, and that's kind of a sad fact, and that's Marin. Whenever I made the video, I said that I liked it quite a bit, and the more I've seen it, I'm not a fan. And it's not the tie. I think the tie looks fine. It's the face sculpt that doesn't really work for me, and this awful base. This base looks awful. I try to hide it actually with my other dress-up darling figures. I put them on it to try to cover it up because this looks awful. I don't know why they would ever do a clear base, because you see these in it and these look awful. You don't want to see them. Like, if I show you the Sachi one here, it's got them, but you can't see them because they're covered up by the actual base. So it's a good base. It looks nice on a shelf. This one does not because it's all clear. Just make a hot pink base. Make a red one because then it would fit a tie, or make a black one even. I don't care. But don't make any more of these. These look awful. Please do not make any more of them. And that's it. It's not an awful figure though. It's a fine figure. Gonna give it a B. I have some issues with it, but it's not my favorite, and it's one of my least favorite out of the ones that I have, and that just speaks to Fring making really good figures. So, and let's talk about my favorite of the month, and that is this Ami one from Toradora. I think this one turned out amazing. I love this figure. This is probably one of my favorite figures, and it might be my favorite figure of the year, which we still got a long way to go on that, but I'm already planning on I'm making a list internally so that when that day comes, we can look into this, because this one I think turned out really well. It's my figure of the month, no doubt. It turned out really nice. I think they captured the look of her, the gloves, everything. I think it turned out great. Got the tiny base that I love. I love a tiny base because it doesn't take up a lot of room on a shelf. It's not clear. It works very well. This is just everything that I want out of a Fring figure. Here it is, and it worked really well. And it's my favorite character from Toradora, so unlike Manori, who I think turned out all right, this one turned out amazing, and it's my favorite character from the show. So there you go. Before we get into the black sheep of the month, let's talk about some stuff you have not seen yet, and they're coming soon. You've actually seen this one, but it came out yesterday. It's the Marin Nendoroid here. It's their cosplay version. I like this one a lot. If I did have an issue with it, it's the hat don't stay on her head. It just kind of rests on her head. So it's very easy to like knock it off, and I don't like that. Now, I'm not going to ever try to have her in a situation where it'll fall off, but I don't like that, because if I ever had to move it, I wouldn't want to accidentally knock it off and break it. But otherwise, solid little figure. It had some great alternate faces, and actually an alternate body as well, where she'd be kneeling. So, solid little Nendoroid here. I'm very happy with that. I wish they'd make the other cosplays of her. They're making other Nendoroids of Marin that are not like her cosplay versions, and I think you have a wide opportunity to make tons of her cosplays, and I don't know why they don't do that. They would make so much money off that, because I would buy every single one of them. But anyway, what do I know? We have another Suzume coming up that I'm going to be putting out here in a few days, and we got him, Sota, I think it is. Yeah, Sota. But this is the real thing, and I'm very happy to have this. It's Daijin from Suzume. He is great, and I think he turned out perfect. I love him. If anything, I got him just to have whenever the Suzume Nendoroid comes out. I can put him, well, I'll put both of them with him, but I can put him with Suzume, because this is one of my favorite characters from the movie. So, very happy to have. I'm happy to have him, but I'm really happy to have him. So, B, S. So, I guess A together. And we have Ruby from Oshinoko. This is the concert version. I was not able to get the Ruby from this line, and I'm kind of upset that I never canceled this one and the Mimcho one, because I didn't really want the whole... I don't want two of them if I can't have the whole set. But it is a good one. It's not bad. It works. It looks nice. I'm just saying I wish I had the whole set now, and I don't have Ruby, so what's the point? Maybe I'll try to find Ruby whenever the other one comes. So anyway, I have her for now, but she's the only Oshinoko figure that I have right now other than the acrylic stands. So first one of them, but let's give her a B for her little band group, or idol group. Next up, we have the pop-up parade for Hinata from Wataten. It's my first anime, so I'm very happy to have more merch from it. I think this one turned out very well. It looks very cute. It's got a little clear base here, but it's like a frosted base, so it works pretty well. Very little base thing there on her foot, so it works pretty well. It's pretty sturdy as well, even though she's up on one foot, so I think it works, and I like this one a lot. A. The next one here is Noah from, I guess, Noah? Anyway, from Wataten, and I was really happy when they showed off the look of this one. I thought it looked really nice. I was really excited about it because I thought, that's a good pose, it'll look great along the other two, and I like her character a lot. I like all the characters from that show, so I was happy to have another one of her. Then I unboxed it, and this skirt here, I'm having to hold it down, because if I hold it level with you, I'm flashing her underwear at you. And that's fine if it's like this, because I mean, they're not hiding anything whenever it comes to something like this. But whenever it comes to this, I don't really want to see this character and think, oh yeah, there's her underwear that I don't even have to try to see. Like, that skirt is way too fluffy, and if they were going to do that, I wish it would have, like, kind of went down a little bit, then fluffed out. But anyway, yeah. B, because the pose looks really nice, but I'm getting flashed all the time whenever I try to look at it. So anyway, B for that one. Now this one is technically 5-in-1, and it's the Bocchi, and it's the little one, looks like the board game piece that she has in the show. And what's really cool about this one is, and these came with this figure, it's little acrylic stands of all of the little guys that are in that scene with her. And that is adorable, and it is really something you don't see very often. Like, these guys would never be made otherwise. So, really neat. They give you 4 of them. You get 4 of these, and then you get this. So, this would sell me on the figure anyway. I forgot these things came with it, so whenever I opened the box and I was like, what is that? And I found these guys, I was pretty happy. I think these sold it for me. Not going to give it an S, because they're not acrylic stains in the show, and it was like $60, so it's a little bit overpriced. It's an Aniplex release, so it's going to be a little overpriced, but this is great. These are a great addition, so I'm going to give it an A. Solid A. Now, let's talk about a figure that I have a problem with, and then we'll get on to the figure that I really have a problem with. And that is this one, the May from The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. It's a Noodle stopper, and I have never owned a Noodle stopper figure before. I've always seen them, they always looked interesting to me, but I never found one that I was like, I have to have that one. Well, I wanted her because they don't make a lot of figures of her, and I wanted a figure of her. But then I figured out what a Noodle stopper figure kind of is, and that is that they have this kind of lip here on their, where they're sitting. And so your option for sitting her is kind of limited. So you have to sit her like this. So if this is your shelf, she's facing that way. So if your shelf is, like, say your shelf is like this, she's going to sit like that. And she's kind of staring away from the end of the shelf. So unless you have a really good spot to put her, she's going to be kind of looking away. So is it perfect? No. Is it well detailed? Yeah, and I think that's more on me for not knowing what a Noodle stopper figure was. I'm going to give it a B-, because I think they could have done a little bit better. They could have had her looking a different way, but I think a little bit of that is on me for not knowing what a Noodle stopper figure was. So maybe I'll get another Noodle stopper figure, and I will be able to judge this more accordingly. But for now, B-. And the black sheep of the month is this thing again. Yeah, I've talked about this. I've talked about it. I've talked about my dislike for it. Once again, the thing broke. She has no bikini straps now. So not one of my favorites. It still does not stay sturdy, and I feel like I'm about to break it whenever I do that. So yeah, if you want my full opinions on this, it's the latest video besides this one, so go check that out. It's an interesting world of these guys, and the base still does not impress me. The more I see it, the more I'm like, that's not a good base. So this is obviously my least favorite figure of the month. And in terms of best figure of the month, then that would go to the Ami here. This is a great figure. This is a solid. I am not afraid to like grab this one and shake it. This one, I can't even grab her by the legs because the base falls off. And I'm not going to shake it because then I would have to censor this because her top would fall off. So anyway, that is it for the additions for February. There's not going to be any freeing figures that I know of that are coming in March. So it's going to be light on the freeing figures. I'm definitely not going to be ordering any more of these in March, so you don't have to worry about that. But I do have more coming, quite a bit coming, so stay tuned for that. But until then, thank you for watching for another month. We hit 1,000 subscribers this month. That was great. We are really growing quicker than I expected, so more to come in the next month, and I hope you will look forward to it, and I will see you guys for another one of these videos at the end of March, 1st of April. But until then, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, really helps me out. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.